Hey, Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review. And today, fans, after just disappointing Civil War II tie-ins, after the disappointing, totally awesome Hulk, and after the craptacular Kingpin issue #1 series, which I hated and could stand and gave it a #1, and I'm so frustrated with it all. I decided to read another one and read Spider-Woman issue #9. Now, if you want to read my review or watch my review on Kingpin 1, it's up here 2 videos before that. But I sat here and said, oh my God, if I have to read another I am going to tear this one up too. So I sat there and I opened it up and it had to do with Wendigos. And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. So this book is written by Dennis Hopeless and the artwork is done by Javier Rodriguez. I love Javier Rodriguez in the Spider-Woman series. I think it's really well done. It just has some good dialogue boxes and just nice facial expressions that he does. Just little things here, like she's holding a phone and she presses it and there's like ignore on there. And I just love Jessica Drew's, again, those facial expressions, the way her eyes look, just little details that he adds. Like she's constantly getting a text from Carol in this, and you can see it's in her pocket, so it's getting buzzed. So all those little things, and then he always splashes pages in here as well, which I thought was pretty funny. As as she's always going, battling, different types of creatures or whatever it is. So I think it's a pretty good-looking book. I love the artwork in this book. So let's recap the story. And I'm sorry if my camera is freezing up a little bit, so just bear with it, as it just doesn't seem to be working properly. So in this book, right away, I'm like, okay, well, based off of the other 2 Civil War tie-in books, this has more to do with a Civil War tie-in than anything. You wind up seeing them fighting that Celestial in the distance, and you wind up seeing Jessica witnesses that, and she's getting this phone call from Carol, and she's like, it kind of reminds me of like how the Marvel fans are with events from Marvel, and she's like, yeah, I can only take 1 event a year, and that's pretty much all I can take. I'm just ignoring the call. And so she's at this restaurant at this ski lodge, and they're doing this whole thing on like this whole research on like Wendigos. And so what happens is as Jessica is on the phone with Carol, we wind up seeing that Porcupine winds up going to investigate the kitchen. He's like, oh, I'm going to check out and see what they're feeding people. He thinks things are not right in there. So the next thing you wind up seeing is that the chef is serving people to people. And it gets all crazy, and there's this whole battle going on with the Wendigos. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, was that first page that all that had to do with Civil War II, just so they can call it a Civil War tie-in? I'm like, please, please tie in somewhere. So you wind up seeing Jessica in her powder blue snow ski suit and her blue glasses do battle against this Wendigo. And the next thing you wind up seeing is she winds up getting saved. You see the Wendigo winds up getting blasted by other than her best friend Carol. And you see her standing there in the background or floating in the background. And at that point I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, because now it has one of the major players from Civil War interacting with her best friend. So now this makes it like really an official tie-in here. So the next thing she says is, she's like, why can't you give me any of your time? She's like, why can't you spend just 10 minutes of your time to talk to me? She's like, you're always so busy. And she's like, I don't want to deal with your bullshit. And you can see that there's this nagging and all this stuff that's going on. And Porcupine's in trouble, so they wind up gotta go to the lodge. They gotta sit there and fight these Wendigos. They're still arguing the entire time. Finally, Jessica decides to listen to Carol, and I love the snow ski suit. It looks so good, the spider snow ski suit. It's awesome. And she winds up giving her story to Jessica about Ulysses and what's going on, and what it could mean for the future. And at first, Jessica Gus is probably like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care about it. And the cover really fits what's going on in Jessica's head, because she kind of wants to turn her back on the whole thing. She wants to lay low, deal with her child, take things that are local. But after Ben Ulrich kind of intercepts the conversation, they all come to agreement to help take the case and write about Ulysses, and investigate, and to do things with Carol, because there's no other money coming in and they have no other jobs. And that's basically how the issue ends. So what did I think about this particular issue? I thought it was really well done. I liked this one. It had a little bit of a tie-in factor in the beginning to catch you up on what happened with Ulysses. If for some reason you didn't read Civil War, or you didn't read any of the other Civil War tie-ins. And then it had the little adventure. And then by the time you got to the end of it, it had more to do with the tie-in, and now Jessica's involvement in Civil War. So I thought that was really cool there. So for me, this meant a real tie-in book. Wasn't like the most exciting or monumental, groundbreaking book, but it still was a good and solid read. And just like Dennis Hopeless has delivered on this series, he's impressed me again. He's managed to tie it all together. So in the end, I gotta give this one 3.75. It had great artwork, it had nice humor, it had a decent story, and it tied in all together. So 3.75 for me, like I said. So guys, keep the discussion going in the comments below. Tell me if you got a chance to read Spider-Woman #9, what you thought of it. What do you think about these Civil War II tie-ins? Are they a waste of money? Do you guys agree with what I'm saying about these tie-ins? Did you think it was worth ripping up this book for it? Because I sure as hell thought it was. So guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline, and until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spiderslayer signing off, and I'm going to continue to rip up Kingpin issue #1 into smaller and littler pieces. So again, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.